Welcome to Northeast Only Ironman, where we can only path northeast. There's four cardinal directions, and the world is an expansive place. But we can only use two of the four cardinal directions. We cannot pass south or west, and we are an Ironman, which that means that we can't trade people either. Now, these are pretty significant restrictions that we have to work around, and later in the series I'll hash out some of the specifics, but for now, just sit back and enjoy. This is Northeast Only Ironman.
Love. Hey, love. Love.
Don Gotti did that. He did that.
I'm a Northeast baby, bitch. I swam too cold. I got 3 different numbers like an area code. I'm sharp with these niggas cause they selling.
Welcome to Northeast Only Ironman Episode 2. If you missed Episode 1, the link will be in the description. In the last episode, we spent a lot of time simply exploring the game world as if we were a flock of spring butterflies spreading their wings for the first time. Okay guys, I know you hate all the boring nerd stuff, but there are some key advantages that we have for our account that are crucial that we touch on. The first advantage is simply that we have access to minigame teleports. A lot of these teleports are locked behind requirements, but we spawn with access to the Birthorpe, Castle Wars, Clan Wars, and Fight Pits teleports. Essentially, these teleports and the Lumbridge Home teleport currently define the content that we can engage with on our account. So that should be simple enough. Now, I want to showcase 2 very important strategies that we can leverage to make the most out of our account. The first strategy is southward fire making. In the previous episode, I got stuck in this position. However, had I been more savvy, I would have known that I could simply start lighting a log, then on a success tick light another log, and that this would move my character south. Now, this strategy only ever works if either the tile to your west or the tile to your east is blocked. However, this strategy actually employs a sub-tick movement that is never drawn on the screen. If employing this strategy with a wall to the player's west, the player actually does a sub-tick path to the west, which makes this strategy illegal. Therefore, we may only ever employ this strategy by using a wall to our east. What this means is that we essentially have the ability to move our character south if our east tile is blocked and if we may light a fire on our current tile. Now, a particularly observational viewer might have already noted that this method actually uses 2 logs because one log gets burned and the other gets left behind on the ground. This brings us into our next consideration. When the player is movement stunned, the player may pick up an item from a tile that is adjacent to the tile that the item is on. Now, you can see in this example that because I do the reindeer hat prance, I am capable of picking up the item without moving to the tile that the item is on. Now, this is my last point, and it is that we do not have any item that is like the reindeer hat that could be used for the specific application. So what we have to do is we have to click log out, which gives you a 1-tick movement stun before you log out, then click the item within the same tick, and we can pick up the item without moving to it, but this also logs us out. Okay, so we got some of the heavy information out of the way. Now let's move on to something a little bit more fun. So currently our goal is to unlock the fishing trawler minigame teleport. This teleport is by far our most accessible teleport to a bank for a long time. However, to unlock the teleport, we first need 15 fishing. The best way for us to get our fishing level is to teleport to Castle Wars, path all the way up to the fishing dock, and then fish shrimps on the fishing platform. Unfortunately, the Castle Wars minigame teleport puts us northwest from the exit, so we cannot simply just walk out the door. In order to exit Castle Wars, we first must fire make south off of the crate, and then we can walk east, fire make south again off of the wall, and then fire make back west to this tile. Once we are on this tile, it is important that we drop our tinderbox and our small fishing net. This will come in handy later. Then we simply fire make to the west, enter the portal, run back out of the portal, and this will give us a spawn southwest of the door. Now this is why it was important that we drop the tinderbox and the small fishing net on that tile, because we can use the world hop trick to pick up the small fishing net and pick up the tinderbox without moving north. Now we are in a position where we have our axe, we have our small fishing net, and we have our tinderbox, and we can simply head east out of Castle Wars.
Yo, what's up? It's me, John. Hello.
We have made it, and now I can start the Sea Slug quest and access the fishing platform. But apparently you need a swamp paste. He makes you get a swamp paste in order to go on the platform. So I guess we need to get a swamp paste, and then we'll come back, and then we can get on the platform. But that is no big deal. We can simply head up to Rosalo the Wandering Salesperson and buy us a swamp paste.
Here's me getting some hot clogs so I can path to Rizzolo. Man, drats, I died again. Ugh. Waka waka.
Okay guys, we are in a little bit of a dilemma. We have died on the account, and the only way to exit Death's office is to path straight west to the door. Now the way I see it is we have two options here. We either turn the account into a Death's office only Ironman and just never leaves Death's office, or we path straight west, we break the rule, and we leave the office. Now if you recall the rules from episode 1, pathing south or west incurs the penalty that we must drop all the items on our player. So by leaving Death's office, we must sacrifice our tinderbox, our fishing net, and a single log to the ground. Once we are outside Death's office, we are forced to home teleport as per the rules. So you may be asking yourself, isn't this just a loophole that you may just freely exit west out of Death's office and all you have to do is drop your items? And the answer is yes. However, we never put a no loopholes rule on our rule set, so this is perfectly fine to do. I do want to clarify, however, that we are not allowed to recover any dropped items from the ground when those items are dropped due to the penalty that we incur. So we do have to go back and individually get a small fishing net and a tinderbox because these things are crucial for our account to operate. We already have a extra tinderbox and axe in the bank, and we can simply path up and go to the duel arena to recover these from our bank. In order to re-obtain the small fishing net, we have to make our way to the fishing shop in Witch Haven, which is approximately the same path that we take to access the fishing platform. Now that we have all our items recovered, we have to make it back up to Rosalo, buy the swamp paste, don't die to the moss giants this time, and then go back to Castle Wars, and then we can make it to the fishing platform and use our swamp paste to get on the fishing platform.
So cool. That's 16 fishing. So now we have access to the fishing trawler minigame. Turns out we had access at level 15 fishing. We were really confused because I guess the sea slug quest gives you 17. So we just assumed that that was the minimum requirement, but turns out it's 15. So we did one more level there than we had to, but turned out okay. So at this point, I prepped to use the trawler because I thought this was going to be the best way to get to the Tree Gnome Stronghold, just kind of joining from this side. But as it turns out, it's just not. I kept getting stuck on all of my different paths. I tried a lot of different routes to get there. I tried to see if I could go south of the clock tower, if I could go north through Hargoon, and there's tons of access to cool things, but a lot of failed runs. So finally kind of just gave up on that, and I took this path. This is the same path that I took to get over to Roslo. It's basically just hugging the wall of West Arty from the Castle Wars teleport. And I kind of moved up through here. It's a cool looking place, and you know, I was really unsure going through this. I should have done more research, but I didn't really know how many trees, so I definitely spent way too much time prepping. But once in the Tree Gnome Stronghold, it's just this. This is what the Agi laps were. It's basically 4 logs per lap, and then an extra 2 logs to get back. And yeah, it really wasn't that bad. Honestly, I like this more than I thought I would. I kind of was just giggling to myself the whole time at just how ridiculous of a concept it was to just do the first obstacle over and over again. But honestly, I could see myself having spent a lot more time here. But it really didn't take long. So after that, I tried to head up towards Valley, and here, about to see my major misclick. So I click there, and yeah, the character path south. At first
Hey guys, John here again. I misclicked Surf, so I gotta drop everything, drop the Desi Bees.
and wanted to home port, but had just done it to get the fishing trawler, so anyway, back again later, and this time just taking the routing that I had planned. It's going to be a little bit more deliberate with my clicks, but right about here I decided, you know what, should be fine. I had done this so much in testing. This is one of the main things that I had tested before we made the account, of just planning out future routing. It's basically this trip over to that boat. And then, so here, I don't know if you saw, but we got 5 Agi earlier, and that is for this. Everyone's favorite little Agi wall. Managed to get a frog token random event thing, which was pretty sweet. After losing the desert boots, really wanted to get my Fashionscape game back, and it's still no desert boots, but at least I'll be able to get the frog outfit. So yeah, I just basically clicked back and forth over this wall for a while. I forgot to record 10 because I was just watching something on the other monitor and just kind of clicking. And I looked over and it's like just a little bit past 10, so it's like, well, I gotta have like a clip to show finishing Agi. So here you go. Here's 11 Agi. Just kidding. As you can tell, this is a screenshot. I also missed this.
Don't use all your run energy up in one place.
This account so rarely gets to run. I'm
You
like,
always log out with no run left, man.
oh god.
Ooh, a little bit of technical pathing.
Oh, good tiles.
Honestly, I just don't want to like fuck this part up because this is like the only like live clip.
If you had to drop the clue, that would suck.
So. Mm-hmm.
You can't just run straight north. from
Yeah,
there.
because we kind of. What? Dude, I don't know, but if that thing like kicks me out west,
You're done for.
Alright, you ready for this?
Good luck, guys.
Ah,
Fuck.
new clue.
Oh,
Dude, can we
Is that-
get here?
I think that's west. Yeah.
Oh, wait a second.
I think we need
Next
to.
Wow.
episode, we're getting 31 Agi?
Well, let's get someone to
Ooh.
hop the phone.
I don't know.
Ah, this is a little cliffhanger.
I guess someone will find out. Yeah.
This is a
there
little
we go.
cliffhanger.
Cliffhanger. I
Here,
wonder what
pull
happens
up that
next.
31 agility
next-
again.
Next episode.
31
happens
Agi?
next?
We're not actually just using this live
man.
commentary, are
Next episode.
we? Okay, John, can you give us a little bit of foreshadowing for next up?
Lot of agi. Lot of
Don't
agility.
spoil it.
We'll see what
Yeah,
happens
just-
next episode.